Week 9 is here. The fantasy playoffs are just around the corner. So you need to be making sure you are fine-tuning those Dynasty rosters, making sure they are set up for the playoffs or turning towards that rebuild strategy. We're going to dive into 6 players you should be looking to move in your Dynasty leagues right now. Kicking things off, Tyrone Tracy. Now, he's out with a concussion. He's probably going to miss for this week's game, maybe 2 weeks. You're wondering why I've got him here in the buy category. Well, the reason is that this is Tyrone Tracy's backfield. He had 91% run back rush share on Monday night. There is even more potential upside if he can begin to work into some more of the receiving game work. It was a 50-50 split with Devin Singletary, but given his college background where he was a wide receiver for the first few years of his college career, I expect there to be more upside there, having only seen an 8.3% target share on Monday night. But let's be honest, let's be real. He is the lead back in New York, and he is going to be the starting running back for the New York Giants next year. That's significant value. I would happily pay a late first, an early second. I don't think you have to pay that. And the truth is that the person who's got Tyrone Tracy sat on his roster probably doesn't quite realize what they have, given that it was a Monday night game and we're looking towards at least 1, if not 2 weeks of him not starting. So go and buy Tyrone Tracy now, because I think you may be able to get him before he takes off over the next few weeks. Time to be a little bit negative. Look, it was fun while it lasted. Jordan Mason was a great surprise. You probably should have sold him 3 or 4 weeks ago, but right now the value is gone. Okay. Christian McCaffrey is expected to be back after the bye. Even if he's not, we know Jordan Mason's got the shoulder injury. Isaac Rendo's potentially coming around the corner. Jordan Mason's a restricted free agent at the end of the year. I just don't see any great value, any upside. Yes, okay, he was fantastic running the ball to begin the year, but there was the distinct lack of receiving work. And I just think if he's back in San Francisco, I don't see them giving him the similar volume that they gave him at the beginning of the year. And if he's in any new home, I don't see him being as efficient. And I think that the book's out a little bit that he doesn't work in the receiving game. And I don't think teams are going to be willing to commit to him the way the 49ers have. So for me, I'm basically grabbing what you can. I'd take 2/3. Maybe you can get a late second if someone's really interested. But it's just a case of I don't believe in the asset moving forward. So it's time to get out as soon as you can. If you are here, though, before we move on to the next 4, hit that subscribe button. We are giving you phenomenal content, whether it be DFS, Dynasty, Redraft, or Best Ball, all year round. You will not regret it. The buy, though, Rashee Rice. You saw him on the thumbnail. He is the big buy this week. Look, I always talk about buying guys on an injury discount. I think that the community and the environment overreacts to potential injuries. But you need to wait a little bit because the value doesn't drop. Now, as teams are starting to look towards playoffs, if Rashee Rice is sat on a contender, they're looking to cash in every single asset they can to help them win a title this year. Chances are Rashee Rice is sitting on their IR spot and they're thinking, actually, I could win a title if I turn that into a player that can help me win now. So go and make that move now. I would happily pay up to 2 firsts for Rashee Rice. I don't think you need to pay that. I think a first will get it done. I think maybe a solid kind of wide receiver 2 type would get it done. I'm really excited about Rashee Rice moving forward. I think he's a superstar in waiting. He was a top 5 Dynasty wide receiver for me before the injury. You get the double discount because we've got this suspension pending. I don't think it's going to be a big one. And even if he misses 4 to 6 games next year, I'm not concerned. So go and buy Rashee Rice. Yes, if you're a contender, it's probably not the player to go and target. But if you're looking towards 2025, every single one of those rosters should have Rashee Rice on moving forward. Time to get negative. He had 11 targets this week. 11. But Zach Ertz needs to go. He is seeing obscene volume, but he's just not adding any value to those targets. He is an empty chasm when it comes to what he's adding to the game. I think that the Commanders are going to realize that, potentially move away from him as we get towards the end of the season. And look, this is the last few weeks of fantasy relevancy for Zach Ertz. So much like Jordan Mason, it's time to get out while you can. If you can get him for a third, the tight end position's pretty barren at the moment. So yeah, go and grab what you can for Zach Ertz. Maybe throw him into a bigger deal as a bit of a sweetener. Sticking with the Commanders, though, Brian Robinson, look, anyone who's followed this channel for a while knows both Tom and I are huge fans of Brian Robinson. But I think off the back of this week, you can potentially go and buy. If you look at the raw numbers, it looked like Austin Eckler led this backfield, but that was largely due to game script. I think that Brian Robinson is an elite offensive scheme. We know what Cliff's doing in terms of the run game. It's phenomenal. It was back when he was Arizona as well. But the exciting thing for me for Brian Robinson is looking towards 2025. I'm expecting to see an increase in the passing game role. I don't know if Austin Eckler is going to be around. I think he's probably going to be gone. Robinson is flashed in the receiving game. And I think that there's potential for him to take even bigger strides in 2025. So you can go and buy him now and he can help you win right now. But I think he's going to be even better next year. So I'd happily go and pay that mid-first round pick to go and acquire him, whether that be a contender or a fringe contender. I think he's a great buy right now. And then the final sell, Alvin Kamara. Now, the new contract has seen a value bump. I think people are expecting him to potentially be a fantasy asset for another 2 years. I'm not, okay? The thing with Alvin Kamara is he is not efficient on the ground. The reason he is good for fantasy is the receiving game usage. Well, the Saints are a complete train wreck. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him blow it up this year. The credit card and the salary cap is coming due. They can't just keep pushing the money because they've already pushed all of the contracts into the future. They can't restructure anymore. I think that we're going to see a new head coach. I think Dennis Allen's going to be gone. I think that'll be a new play caller. I don't think Clint Kubiak will stay around. So I just don't expect the same volume of receiving work and efficiency with a whole new scheme, a whole new environment. So for me, I think it's a case of let's get out on Alvin Kamara now. I'd take a mid-second. I don't think you need to take that low, though. I think you can potentially get an early second, maybe a second plus, because I think people are still excited about Alvin Kamara, what he can do, and potentially expect him to be an asset for 2 or 3 years. So, yeah, those are the 6 guys. Do you disagree with any of them? Is there someone I've missed? Let me know in the comments below. And, of course, stick around because we'll be back later in the week with our big preview show breaking every single game down on the slate.